All right, welcome back to Shameful Locks here. My name is Gabriel Costa with my co-host here, Mr. Blake Profio. We're here to discuss some NFL football. We're here to talk about more playoffs. We got divisional weekend right around the corner here. It is a Friday afternoon for us here when we were recording. As always, I'm on my lunch break right now. So again, any coworkers that see this, I'm eating bets. Um, But yeah, we've got some recapping to do. I hope everyone had a good wild card weekend last weekend, and I know some of us did here. Gabe had a sweep. It was well beyond due. Well beyond due. Our Steelers suck. I hate this team. I have a lot of thoughts on that, but I'll spare a lot of them. But yeah, we'll start with the recap so we can get in here with the picks. I'll start with you, Blake. Blake, you had your game pick last week was Steelers plus 10. That's very unfortunate. They were actually looking like they might cover that there at the end. They might get a garbage time touchdown, but unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean it's made the we made the picks before they switched the game. I was anticipating it'd be a snowstorm during the game. So that kind of screwed that pick and my lock. So, but what are you gonna do? They lost, but unfortunate.
I completely agree. I think if they didn't move that game, I think it's like a 21-17 game. It's super close, super low scoring. But of course they moved it, so that's unfortunate. Your bet that did hit that last week though was the Golden Goose Joe Flacco over 269.5 passing yards. I think he crushed that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he had like three something, but they got killed. So that was pretty awesome to witness, honestly.
that was enjoyable. At least if you were able to take something positive away last weekend, it was the Browns getting embarrassed. That is enjoyable for us.
Yeah.
And then, like you already said, your lock of the week last week was Josh Allen to have at least one interception. He did not throw one interception. So last week you went 1-2, losing 1.13 units. And then that moves you all the way over to 35-25. No pushes this year for you, knock on wood. But you were sitting at a positive 14.9 units flat. Looking good for you there. I mean, and you're still in the positive by a good amount. I think you've pretty much secured a winning year for you. I think it'd be impossible for you to. There's only 2 weeks left plus this week, so even if you somehow go 0-9 in your next 3 or 9 bets or whatever, you're still guaranteed to be positive. So that's pretty good. Over to my picks real quick. Like I said, I had a sweep last week. It was only my second sweep of the year. My first sweep was the 1 week we didn't make a video, and we didn't even end up putting the picks out. We were late on the graphic too, so it was hard to believe that I actually did it. But I had Dolphins Chiefs under 44. I forget what the final score that was. I think it was like 26-7 or something like that.
It's pretty safe. Wasn't super sweaty.
Well, it started to get a little sweaty in the fourth quarter because I think it was 26-7 with like the start of the fourth quarter or something like that, and I had only 10 points to screw me. So, but again, that cash, so that's good for me. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sun Gods, receiving line at over 87.5. I think he had 110, if I recall. But I think he cashed that in the third quarter. So that felt pretty good. And then my lock of the week was a two-legger. I love my little two-leggers. Might see another one this week. I did Chiefs money line against the Dolphins and Bucks plus 7.5 against the Eagles. Bucks ended up winning outright. That ended up being a good cash. I got that at plus 102. So if you took all my picks last week, like I said, I went 3-0. I went plus 2.79 units. Big dub for Gabe there. I am now 28-31-1 on the season.
Oh yeah.
It's really possible. I mean, I don't like to put it out there, but it's possible for me to finish positive this year. I'm only sitting at negative 3.32 units. I've got my playoff future bet still alive. I know you and Supreme Leaders both lost this past weekend. But my the Lions just have to win this weekend, and my playoff future lives. And that's like a plus 290. So that's a good chunk of units right there. As long as I don't go right back in the tanker starting this week, it's very possible for Gabe to finish positive.
Yeah, you just been crawling your way back. That's what it's all about. You're gonna lose some bets. It happens, but you just gotta spend money to make money. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake, real quick, our Shameful Locks, you are now 9-6 on the year on those. I have now moved to 7-8, again, real close to 500. What been my goal has been all year. And then our joint touchdown parlay has moved down to 5-8. We lost last week. We took Cooper Kupp and Jalen Reed. Neither of them scored, right?
No.
No, yeah, unfortunate. Jalen Reed didn't even have a catch, so that really sucked.
Everyone else basically had a touchdown except him. So
yeah, literally, I think Romeo Dobbs had one. Luke Musgrave,
Wicks,
Dontavian Wicks. I mean,
whoever that guy is.
yeah, everyone but Jalen Reed had a touchdown last week against the Cowboys. So like I said, we're 5-8 on those this year. Still, if you've been putting $10 on every single one, you'd be up $191. So pretty good. We're probably only gonna have 3 more of those because there's only 3 weeks left. But we're looking to have a positive year on those, which is good. Any other remarks real quick before we get going here, Blake?
Not really. Just need another winning week here. We've been doing pretty well lately. 2 weeks ago, we finished like 5-1. Last week, 4-2. So if you're trailing all these bets, you're making some money. So hopefully we keep the momentum rolling here.
Yeah, I think it's actually been I don't think we've finished worse than 3-3 in like 4 or 5 weeks, which is pretty good. Pretty good for us, I would say. Perfect. Yeah, you want to start or me to start this week?
I'm gonna have you start this week.
Me start? Oh, yeah, I know why you're doing that. All right, so before I start, it was due to happen. It was bound to happen. We're doing the playoffs. There's less and less games to bet on every week. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a contradicting pick. I'm picking one way and Blake's picking the other. I kind of knew it was going to happen that way, and I kind of had another play, but I decided to go with my gut here, and I think this is going to be the play I like better. And it's plus money, so you know how I feel about plus money. My game pick this week is Chiefs money line, and I got that at plus 130 at Caesars. The Chiefs are playing the Bills this week in Buffalo, and I'm honestly just going to roll with the better quarterback and the healthier team. The Bills got beat up real bad last week. No Gabe Davis. He's ruled out again this week. I know their defense, they lost offensive line and linebackers and cornerbacks last week. So hopefully the Chiefs win. Like I said, I'm taking the the better quarterback here. I know this matchup between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, it's arguably probably the second. I would say no. It's probably the best quarterback matchup we've had within the last like 5 years consistently. Like these two guys going head to head. You can agree with that, right?
I'd agree.
I know we were discussing this last night, the two of us, but like it's not Peyton and Brady yet because Allen hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. But I think it's definitely got kind of that caliber for our time span in the league right now. But fun fact, these guys are 3-3 versus each other in their careers. And Josh Allen is, I think, 3-1 in the regular season, but he has never beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, 0-2. I'll leave it there.
All right. So I'm not going to comment on that pick because my game pick contradicts his. So I will say what I want to say. You can pick which one you want to roll with. So I'm going to go with the Bills minus 2.5. I got that minus 120 on DraftKings. So I think one of the biggest advantages Buffalo has in this game is being home. I think 2 seasons ago, the 2020 season, COVID, I think Buffalo was home, but I don't think there were any fans there. So I think that kind of took away from the atmosphere. Josh Allen was 0-2 in the playoffs against Mahomes. But I think if Josh Allen plays the way he did last week against the Steelers, he played a really clean game, no turnovers. He ran the ball well. He threw it well. Didn't really put the ball in any hazardous situations. And I think this is the perfect year to do it. Kansas City really hasn't been the powerhouse that they've been in previous years. They have Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know. I think it's Buffalo's time. I think if they're going to win it, if they're ever going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, it's this year. So who knows how Mahomes is going to play on the road in the divisional matchup, his first ever road divisional matchup game, which is kind of crazy. But I like Buffalo in this spot, regardless of the injuries. They have Josh Allen; they can still get it done. So,
yeah, Like I said, I don't like to root for your picks, but obviously I have to here. I'm just saying the worst case scenario would be like the Bills win by 1 or 2, because then we both lose, and that would actually really suck. I'd actually be really pissed off if that
That'd be
happens.
worst case scenario.
Yeah. That would be the worst case scenario. Would really suck, but yeah, I think we both put up some good reasonings there. We'll let you guys take which one, and may the best guy with the best data and everything win.
Yes, I guess so. So it's not in our hands anymore. So
it's not in our hands anymore. Ball's been played. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I'll go ahead and get my player prop this week, and I'm going to a very familiar face that everyone knows that apparently I love this guy, which I don't even really like this guy that much. I just like the data and the stats behind it and the matchups he's getting. I'm rolling to Baker Mayfield again. 2+ passing touchdowns, -102 on FanDuel. Riding the hot hand, riding with Baker once again. I'm 1-1 on this show taking Baker related props. I cashed it a few weeks ago for plus money and then lost it last week of the regular season. And a final score of the game that was 9-0. He threw 0 touchdown passes. Yeah. But last week against the Eagles, I took that bet off the show and it cashed. He crushed it. I think he had 3 passing touchdowns against the Eagles last week in the wild card round.
Yeah.
This week he gets a matchup against the Lions, and I think the defenses are kind of comparable, honestly. I don't think the Lions have a very good secondary. I know they got a pretty good pass rush with Aiden Hutchinson and some other guys down there. But I think their secondary is pretty exposable. It could definitely be exposed. And Baker has just been crushing this line. Hold on, I wrote my data here. Yes. Baker has hit this line of 2+ passing touchdowns in 9 of his last 12 games, including 1 straight. Sorry, that's my next guy. But yeah, like I said, the Lions secondary is not great, and they've allowed 2+ passing touchdowns in the last 4 games they've played. Come on, Baker, rolling with it.
Yeah, I mean, last week Stafford even kind of he had some good numbers, I feel like, against the Lions. The Lions secondary isn't nothing really to like bat your eye about. They're pretty bad. I know they got guys like Brian Branch and Cam Sutton, but it's definitely defense that could be exposed, and Baker's playing really well right now. So
yeah, and Baker's definitely got the receivers to get it done too. He's got a quality wide receiver core, and I just love this bet. It was plus money a few days ago, but unfortunately I did not get it there because I wait to place my bets right before the show for the fairness.
Mm-hmm. All right, so actually, I'm going to take the other quarterback in that matchup. I'm going to take Jared Goff over 277.5 pass yards, and I got that at -114 on FanDuel. So as we know, the Lions are home turf, home field advantage. They have all those advantages in their way, and advantages for them, I should say. And also the Buccaneers, they have a bottom 5 pass defense. They were bad all year. I think the Bucs will blitz a lot, which will give receivers one-on-one matchups with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Reynolds, all those guys, Jameson Williams. So they should be open. Earlier in the season, when these two teams met up, Goff had 353 yards in Tampa Bay. So I think he might be able to replicate that same performance. And then Tampa Bay, they also have a really good rush defense. I think they were number 1 all season long. So that leads me to believe that Lions might have some trouble passing the ball. So they're going to have to pass a lot. But I think this game could be a shootout. I think it has potential to put some points on the board since both defenses are kind of suspect. So I think both quarterbacks are going to have a big game.
I absolutely agree with you. I don't think this game has the highest over-under of the week. I think Packers 49ers does. But I'm really surprised this one doesn't. I think both teams have a decent pass rush, but both teams' secondaries are very suspect. And both of these quarterbacks love to put up 20-yard completions back to back to back. And I think it's definitely going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game.
Yeah.
All right, cool. It is Shame-Ful Lock time. This is our best bet of the week. Like I said earlier in the show, Blake is 9-6 on our best bets, and I am 7-8. One more game away from being at least 500. Like I said, there's 3 more weeks of this, so need to finish at least 2-1 on those to finish at least 500. Let's start off here. And I'm going to another 2-legger. That's what I often do. I usually do a little 2-legger with some alt lines of some sorts, just because I think it's safer than playing one pick I really like. it's been okay so far this year. Like I said, I'm 7-8, so we'll see. But this week I'm going to C.J. Stroud, 200 plus passing yards, and Jordan Love, 225 plus passing yards. Both of these are, sorry, this is plus 105 on FanDuel to start. And both of these are alt lines. This is definitely way below their original lines. I think Jordan Love is sitting at around like 250 plus. So it's about 27 yards lower. And then Stroud, I think he's also sitting around 250. So it's about 50 yards lower. But both of these teams are 9.5-point underdogs in their respective games this week. So the game scripts should definitely be favorable for both their matchups. They'll be throwing the ball a lot. Shouldn't be seeing a lot of running if these teams are favored to lose by this amount of points. But I will say they both don't, neither of them has a gimme matchup. Stroud is playing the Ravens at Ravens, and Love is playing the 49ers at 49ers. But I kind of think that even if the game's not particularly close, you don't bench starters in a playoff game, no matter how bad the score is. We've seen that especially last weekend. But I think even if these games are blowouts, I think they definitely will get these numbers in garbage time. But like I said, Stroud has cleared this line of at least 200 passing yards in 7 of his last 8 games. He threw for 242 in week 1 of his rookie season earlier this year against the Ravens in week 1. And then Jordan Love has cleared an 8 of 10 of 225. His 2 misses were within 7 yards. He threw for 219 and 218. So I love the numbers on these guys. I think these guys can easily soar both these lines.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, even if they are blowouts, still going to be passing the ball, playing from behind, and they're both playing good rush defenses, honestly. So just like in my pick earlier, they're probably going to be passing the ball more so than rushing it. So, but I mean, I like the combo. Both 2 young guys playing really good. So.
Yeah, neither of these guys are afraid to let it sling right now either. They're both, I'd probably argue that they're playing at the peak of the season right now for them. This is the best they've both looked all year. And I said, I think they easily crush these numbers for some plus money.
That's what you want. That's the goal. Okay. So I'm going to go to another quarterback. Actually, opposite quarterback of C.J. Stroud in that matchup.
Oh, wow.
I go off each other here, but I'm going to go Lamar Jackson over 50.5 rushing yards, and I got that at minus 114 on FanDuel. So obviously in the playoffs, you want your best players to have the ball and you want to play to their strengths. So I think that's what the Ravens need to do in this matchup against the Texans. When it gets to the playoffs, Lamar loves to run the ball. He has 4 playoff games, and in 3 of those 4 games, he's gone over this 50.5 mark. And in 2 of those games, he's had a 136-yard rushing performance and a 143 rushing performance. In these big games, Lamar, he wants the ball. He wants to run it. That's what he's best at. I think the Ravens won't have any problem running the ball on the Texans. So I think he kills this mark, and I think that Ravens will ultimately win. But yeah, I like this play a lot. So that's my lock.
Yeah, I definitely like that too. That's one of my things I always dog Lamar on is he runs the ball a lot, and I don't think he's a good passer, but he's really shut me up this year. That really sucks because I think of all the teams left standing, the Ravens are my least favorite team.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Kansas City.
I can't disagree with that because I need them to win this week. All right, that'll wrap us up for our 3 picks each this week. Let's go ahead and run over to our joint TD parlay. As always, if you're new or continuously watching us, we both pick one guy we really like to score a touchdown this week, and then we just parlay those 2. And we don't count this towards the records, but like I said, we're 5-8 on this, 5-8 on this so far this year. If you put $10 in every one, you'd be up a good amount of money, $190 to be exact. And this week, I am going to start with Sam Laporta, anytime touchdown. I don't know the odds on him specifically, but we ended up taking this. I'll tell it at the end. But I think it was about 150-ish. Sam Laporta is the tight end for the Lions. He's been killing it this year. He has 10 plus touchdowns this year. He has a touchdown in his last 2 games. Go Sam Laporta. In a game I think that will also be high scoring.
Very nice. I'm going to go with another tight end. I'm going to rock with Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. As you know, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they have a great playoff connection. I think they're second all time behind like Brady and Gronk or something like that. I
Really?
think I think they're close to breaking that Brady and Gronk record. But in 2 playoff games against the Bills, Travis Kelce has 3 receiving touchdowns. So he loves getting the ball and making plays against the Bills. And we got these combined at plus 487 on ESPN Bet. So run, sprint, go get that right now because I think it's going to hit.
Yeah, we're due for a good one here. Running with some tight ends this week, and I think both these guys are due to have a good weekend in the divisional round.
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right. Well, obviously we can't go 6-0 this week. Wouldn't be surprised if it happens again sometime next week, just because there's going to be less and less games. I think next week we're only going to give 2 picks each. Not sure what they will consist of. I think we might just end up doing two shameful locks. I think that might just be the play for next week. I think it's going to be the
2
play.
shameful locks. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But yeah. Unfortunately, football season's winding down. This is our last week of both giving out 3 picks. We know that for sure. But hopefully the games are good. Hopefully, I think as the playoffs continue to go forward, I think we're going to see less and less blowouts, and the competition should be closer and more even.
Definitely agree.
All right, awesome. That'll wrap us up for divisional playoffs. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks, guys.
Peace.